Good morning. I wanted to go over vacuum sealing meat. I buy bulk meat from Sam's. And actually this is 3.26 pounds. And I got it for $16.23 at my Sam's. You can see that or not. Now I will separate these in, 1 pound. Well, it's going to be a little over 1 pound. And that's enough for what I use. I put it in stew, in beef, or beef stew, beef vegetable soup, and beef stroganoff. And sometimes when I do beef stroganoff, sometimes I'll use 2 packages. It just depends on, how much meat I'm wanting to use. But actually the unit price for this was $4.98 a pound. And I need to get it separated and freeze it. But I want to go over the different types of bags that I use and the different reasons I use the different bags. Okay, so for like the meat, and I buy these, I have a Food Saver. I got this at Walmart. So I can turn around here. And it says Food Saver right here. So anyway, I've had this for several years. I had a Seal-A-Meal, which I used it for, I don't even know how many years. Probably 10. And it finally just went bad, so I had to buy another one. But, if you can't afford a Food Saver, put it in, just a regular gallon, probably, freezer bag, seal it up. I put the date on it. I mark what it is, so that when you get it out of the freezer, you always get, the oldest first. But let me go over these sealer bags first, these vacuum sealer bags that I do buy. And I get these from Amazon because they're a little cheaper than the Food Saver bags. So this came from Amazon. And these are 8 by 12. They're a quart. And this is they're just a regular bag. Opening, put your meat in there. You seal it, put the date on it. I use these for anything that I'm not going to reseal the bag for. And when I say reseal the bag, let me show you these other bags. And I also get these from Amazon. They're called Keepsies. Now the difference between these and these are they are resealable. Let me show you. And I usually use these for cheese or for breadcrumbs because I like to make my own breadcrumbs. I put them in the freezer. This is like a Ziploc top. The bottom, on the white, you can mark what it is. I use just a permanent marker. It opens on this side. You put your stuff in on the bottom. You seal it. And then see, you open it here. Has a Ziploc seal. So you can close it back up and squeeze the air out. Close it back up and reuse it. Now I use this for cheese because I usually buy 5 pounds of, I either buy block cheese and shred it myself in my food processor, or I get 5 pounds of shredded cheese. I separate it into 1 pound bags, and I mark on what it is. I seal it, and I let it thaw out before I open it. And then all you have to do is kind of just pull it apart with your hands when it is thawed out. And it's absolutely fine cheese. There's nothing wrong with freezing cheese. It's, because we go through a lot of cheddar, we go through a lot of mozzarella, and we go through a lot of Mexican cheese. And I usually buy it at Sam's and then in bulk. I find this saves me money. I don't have to worry about, do I have it? I know I have several bags on hand at the time. But I do like the resealable for cheeses. Anything that you think you're not going to use the whole bag in one setting, I like to use the resealable bags. And then, excuse me, I also have these. They're a little bit, well, they're not real small. Maybe you can, I use these. You can roll them out. You can cut them. Your sealer has a cutter in here. You put your bag down in here, your roll bags. You just run this across. It cuts the bag. It has a seal button. So you pull it out and you make a little seal. And then when you're done with that, and you put your items in here, then you hit vacuum and seal, and it vacuums, pulls everything, you know, the air out, and then seals it. The reason I like these bags, if I'm freezing, like sometimes I'll buy a couple stalks of celery at once, and especially if you get a good price on it, and you know you're not going to use it all before it goes bad. And I really hate to waste food. So what I do is I will chop up my celery. And then, you know, I don't use a ton in a recipe, but, you know, let's say you want a cup of celery, chopped celery. So I seal the end, I put 1 cup in here, and then, you know, I'll just use a small piece. That way I'm not having to use, you know, waste a whole bag. I just use this, you know, I cut it, I seal the end, put my celery in, and then seal it, and then that way I'm saving on my bags. So I do like that. So you can use it for celery, maybe if you want a cup of chopped carrots or sliced carrots or shredded carrots. I do that. And I also have a whiter roll. Now I like this if I'm buying a roast. See how wide this is? It's wider than this. I don't know if you can see or not. No, you probably can't. But it's probably, I don't know, 3 inches wider. So I like these. I also get these from Amazon. And let's say I bought a roast. And I know I'm not going to use it for a couple of months. I will take it out of the bag. I seal up one end. I pull out what I need. I slip my roast in it, and then I vacuum seal it. And the reason I do that is because, do you ever get meat from the store? And let's say I put this whole thing in here. Well, you know, maybe in a couple months it's going to have some freezer burn on it because it's not vacuum packed. If I'm going to spend money on meat, especially meat, I want to make sure it's vacuum sealed. You can keep your meat so much longer. You know, you don't get the freezer burn. You don't get the frost inside because it is sealed. So I'm going to go ahead and get this meat split up in 3 packages and seal it. You know what? I might just do 2. That's £1.50, and you know, still $8. It'd be $8 and something for, you know, a meal for meat. That's not bad. So let me get a couple of these out. Move this stuff out of the way. Anyway, if you want any of these bags, like I said, I did buy them from Amazon. Amazon has so many neat products. And I think if you can afford them, this is absolutely the way to go. I even freeze, buttermilk. I freeze just all kinds of things, you know, especially buttermilk. I need to do a little thing on that because it's so neat. I get silicone. Well, let me get my. Well, no, let's see. Anyway, let me get this meat sealed up for you. Let me get my marker. Let's see. What is today? I think it is the 4th. No, it's the 3rd. Can you believe how fast this year has gone? So I put the date. Actually, I don't need to put the day, but just the month and the year. 10/22. And then I write stewing beef or stew beef. Stew beef, and I know what it is. Anyway, this month has gone by so quickly, or last month, I guess I should say. And I don't know where you're all from, but I'm live in West Virginia, and it seemed like we didn't have a fall. or, you know, from summer to fall. We didn't have a fall. We went straight into fall. And the weather is so cold. I just hate it because we didn't have any 70-degree temperatures like we normally do. It seems like we went from 90s because we had a really hot and wet summer this year. So it seems like we went straight into fall, and it's been chilly here. I've actually had to turn on my fireplace. I've had to turn my heat on in my sunroom. It's just been very nippy. We've had to wear jackets. And usually this time of the year, you know, I can still, well, I love to wear shorts and flip-flops. And usually I'm still wearing them, but this time no. I've already had to wear my pants and shoes, and I hate it. Anyway, I think a pound and a half is good for a meal. Really, a pound probably wasn't enough meat. So yeah, I think a pound and a half is good. But anyway, I mean, still a pound and a half, that's $8, which that's not bad for a meal. If you're trying to save more money, yeah, and if there's not that many of you, you could get by with a pound. Or if you're trying to stretch your budget, just use a pound. But there are 6 of us. I'm sorry, hold on just one moment. I'm sorry, the phone's ringing. Sorry about that. Now, so I try to flatten my meat out a little bit. You just take it, open up this little door on your seal mill or your food saver, whatever you're using. Put it down. There's a little lever here on the side. I have to push this down. Let's see here. Right here. It goes up and it goes, oops, sorry, down. And then I hit vacuum and seal. It sucks all the air out. I'm going to go ahead and pause this so that you don't hear the buzzing because it is very, very loud. Just a moment. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but it sucked all the air out. Right now, it's done vacuuming. It's sealing. When my lights go off, that means it's sealed. So my lights just went out. Let's see here if I can put this down a little bit. Okay, nice little seal on there. Can you see that, the seal? Vacuum packed, ready to go in the freezer for a later date. I don't have to use it for several months. Okay. And then my last one, I only have 2 of these. We get this one sealed. Last one, vacuum packed. I'm waiting for it to finish sealing. Oh, it did. You have to flip up the latch, lift up the door, pull your meat out. It's sealed all the way across. No air. It's great. I take these out of the freezer. I stick it in the refrigerator overnight, usually by morning, and if it's not totally thawed out, I'll put it on the counter for a little bit, or sometimes I just throw it in the pan and go ahead and saute my, get my beef browned and then start cooking it in whatever item I'm going to cook it in, whatever recipe. So this is my vacuum sealer. I thought maybe you'd like to see them. They are well worth the investment if you have a large family, or even if you don't have a large family and you want to save money and you want to buy the bigger packages at Sam's or wherever you buy them, and they don't have them vacuum packed. You don't want to waste your meat. You're tired of the frost and the quality of the meat's not as good. Vacuum seal it. I will do one on my buttermilk and a few other things that I vacuum seal. But for now, this is my meat. Vacuum sealer, well worth the money. If you can't afford it, like I said, get you some, I'd probably use the gallon size bags on these, freezer bags. Shove all the air out that you can. But you're not going to be able to store them as long as you do this type of, the vacuum sealer. But at least you're not wasting your money by buying a bigger package. I like to buy the bigger packages. I do the same thing with chicken. Like I said, there's 6 of us, and this saves me money. I know it's in my freezer. And, you know, if you buy by bulk, usually it's cheaper. So I love doing this. Folks, have a great day. Thank you for checking out my channel. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.